Hello, luminous friends, fellow explorers of the One Infinite Creator. I felt the call to share a little about some things that I've experienced recently. And so I'll provide some more context. And it's basically an illustration of how you are provided for, how self takes care of itself, how God takes care of itself. So, settle in, enjoy, or don't, or have a pissy time, whatever you want. I'm gonna share anyway. Okay, cool. So, as some of you know, I'm on an adventure following my highest excitement, my passion, my highest joy in the moment. I'm really listening to the guidance to the best of my ability. Basically surrendering and letting go of needing to know where to go next, why I do the things that I do, but really tuning to that spark of what enlivens me, what really pulls me forward, and to trust that, to go with that, and to let life itself explain why. So, a while ago, like a little over a month ago, I think, I got the invitation from one of the people that or from two of the people that I met here on the island of Ibiza, that I've been staying at for a long time. Whatever. Interesting. Okay. Whatever. I got the invitation to stay at their house and to pay for it and to basically pay for the expenses that they would have had if they actually lived in the house. And at the time, it felt quite challenging because right now I'm like the Tom that I appear to be, has no idea where the money will come from here. I don't like. Part of this journey was giving up my job, and yeah, feels good to just be of service to the best of my ability and to let God, let Source, let my true self show me how and provide for me. Maybe I'll get a job, maybe not, whatever. I just really want to follow my passion because I know that is like all of it is included in that. Anyway, so I got the invitation to stay at this place for 10 days for an amount that was quite a big percentage of the savings that I had. And I checked in with it, I rested with it, and then, yeah, actually felt good to say yes. So I did, and I stayed here, and or I say here because, well, let the story unfold. You'll find out. And yeah, it was beautiful, and it was also very nurturing and nourishing, and a great permission slip for me to be with basically a lot of the fear programming and the survival programming that I unconsciously have been going through while living in my car, which was kind of the period before that. I just lived in my car, which felt great at the time, and yet, as I noticed staying in that house, yeah, it did trigger some survival mechanisms in me. And so it was a beautiful way, very nourishing way to also be present with that, to hang out with all those mechanisms, all those patterns that I'm sure I do not carry on my own, right? This is a massive part of the human condition, at least in the collective that I appear to be in right now. So it was great to be able to face it, to be present with it, and to not have to do anything with it, and just allow it to heal itself, basically. To allow God or the universe or your true self, whatever, to take care of it, to let it be alchemized into part of the service that I come to bring, part of the set of keys that I have in my hand everywhere I unlocked myself from the prisons that most of us find ourselves in some way or another here on this planet. So, and now I get to radiate more freedom, and I get to experience more liberation because of it. So awesome, and super exciting, right? So anyway, to the story. So after these 10 days, which were interesting, were super in the flow, I faced a lot of shadows, and it's also at a place looking out on this little rock in the Balearic Sea, Mediterranean Sea. Well, it's a part of that, which is just off the coast of Ibiza, which is supercharged, like this very dense, powerful spot. I'm sure it's full of crystals. Yeah, and it's quite high vibe, and it appears to be a portal as well. There's a lot of ET consciousnesses kind of hanging around here. And so, yeah, it's been super transformative. It was super cool to hang out in this energy so intensely. Yeah, and like there are many periods of time that I don't really remember of my stay here. And one of the teachings that Bashar actually gives is when you're really in the zone, when you're really like following your highest passion, when you're really in the flow, then there's a lot of collapse of time, basically. So yeah, you start to experience only the highlights, and you even though you can produce some kind of remembrance of the time in between, you don't really experience that. And so like time actually flows paradoxically faster for you. Like it's more intense, there's more experience, like more intense experience, and at the same time it collapses. Yeah, you really move from moment to moment, and there's not that much in between, basically. And that's what I experienced. I'm sure I was abducted a lot to UPAs or UFOs, like ships of ET beings and extra-dimensional beings. I don't have active recall of that, but at the same time, I've felt ET and ED, extra-dimensional presence a lot here. And so, after these 10 days, sorry for the ADHD adventure, I hope you can handle it. I was sitting like on the morning that I would leave. I was sitting outside, just smoking a cigarette, kind of enjoying the place for the quote unquote last time. And the neighbor, which is the woman that lives above the villa that I rented, she came to me, and we had some contact during the week. I was mostly just really enjoying myself, really in the flow. So we had small exchanges, and I had told her that I mostly lived in my car, and that I found it a very transformative experience as well, and a very freeing and liberating experience. And she shared that she also lived in her car for a while. And so, yeah, well, it was very cool and very fun. And every time we met, even though it was very short, there was like this real connection going on. And yeah, during the week I felt her a lot as well. Yeah, and sometimes I felt the pull to kind of walk over and connect with her, but well, it It wasn't really my passion, otherwise I would have acted on it, right? But I was checking it out and like, okay, how can we co-create? And so on the morning of my departure, she came to me and she asked what my plans were from here. And so I shared about, that I was planning to stay in my car without expectation whatsoever of what's next. And that I was curious how I am now, who I am now after this experience here. And she said, well, basically, it's going to be shit weather from here. And I'm leaving for my home country tomorrow. And you can just stay at my place if you want. And so I asked her what she would like to have in exchange for it. And she said, well, whatever you can pay. And then she redirected and she said, well, actually, I have a few chores in the house, like some things that I don't really feel like doing, but I would love to have happen, you know? All these manly chores, very nice. Like, you know, making a little, what's the name? Well, making a little more space in the kitchen, for instance, like this. Well, the term eludes my mind at the moment, but you know, doing some manly work around the house, and even that, she said, you know, and do it if you want, and don't do it. It's all good. So that was fucking awesome, and I thanked her, and was like humbling the trust that she emitted with that she displayed with that, as someone who I quote unquote don't know that well, and that she quote unquote doesn't know that well. So that was cool. And then she said, and for this night, I have this van on the property that I'm not using. That's actually my friend's van, and it's like it has a bed in it, and it has, you know, so you feel free to stay there. And so, like, I did, and I stayed there, and I'm still processing actually, but like, I'm just in awe of the generosity of this being and the generosity that she reflects of the one infinite creator, of true self, of that self, that identity that we all share. And like how you are, this for me, this is like a display, a demonstration of how supported you are when you are committed to being of service and of service to the all, and committed to not being attached to any outcome, and to following your passion, and to really, to be bold, to be confident, to embrace those things that you previously wouldn't have dared, to be present with all the bullshit that is in your system, not making it real, but also being compassionate, all these things. Like, I'm doing the work. It's not at all always easy. It's challenging at times. And still there's this confidence building, this conviction building more and more of, wow, there's just one being. All I meet is me, right? Not the small me, but the small me is included. But all I meet is the one identity, and I take care of myself. And wow, there's more to the story. Like, I offered her to drive her to the airport, and that was actually a beautiful moment for us to connect and to exchange and to get to know each other's story a little more. And she shared about the law of one, which is also one of my main teachers or frameworks through which I explore, that I really resonate with. And yeah, it feels super potent and like very alive, and like, yeah, it's still blowing my mind a little, how this is unfolding. And one awesome extra detail is from this apartment, which is like a story up, I actually have even better vision on Esvedra, this rock in the sea. Right now, I'm staring at it. If you're thinking, where the fuck is that guy looking at? Well, it's Esvedra, which is just beaming at me right now, and I'm humble and honored and at awe in the glory of the one infinite creator and the beauty of the illusion and the coordinate that everything that you meet is actually pointing at, which is this absolute infinity, this generous, potent, infinitely shifting, changing, and at the same time, at the core, stable, unchanging beingness, presence that always is. Yeah. Life is good, friends, and apologies for the philosophical babble. I invite you, if you feel called to do so, to intend to taste a little more or a lot more of you moving forward every day. To find situations where you can meet yourself in new ways, where you can feel the nourishment of you and experience the beauty of you, of God, of all that is. There's infinite love for you here. And don't, like, this is something I reminded myself of today through another self. The purpose of this physical illusion that we appear to be in is not so much to walk around perfect, without any challenges, without any seeming limitations, always feeling absolutely blissful. Although that is the nature of us. It is to discover ourselves through apparent limitations and discovering that even in that you are unlimited, even in that there is only infinity, there is only infinite bliss. And to find creative ways to get to know yourself, to get to know God. The universe, whatever. Okay, sweet friends, may you be compassionate with all those parts of you that might not feel as trusty, as bright, as clear. May you meet it as this beautiful toddler hurt animal or whatever. With the compassion of you, may you guide it home with love, with patience, with presence, with appreciation. And may your life unfold in beautiful ways. Or not, if that's more exciting to you. Talk to you soon, my beautiful friends. I kept you listening for long enough, I feel. Oh, it's so hard to say goodbye. It's actually not. Bye. Ciao.